Some people don't get a second chance, man.
60. Oh. Call 911.
And now you still listen to him when he says to eat this and to eat that and blood type this and blood type that. He isn't qualified to be giving out nutritional information, and so please don't listen to his advices.
Funny, Eddie, I boo.
Pause. Eddie Abu. Coach Greg, in today's video, Cali Muscle opens up about his health scare. And by health scare, we mean he almost died. The second time of a heart attack.
4 weeks ago, well, actually 4 weeks and 1 day, I experienced a cardiac experience.
Cope number one.
A cardiac experience.
It's called a cardiac arrest, a heart attack. It wasn't a cardiac experience. He didn't just experience some flutters, some acid reflux, if you will. It was a cardiac arrest, and it wasn't good. He was unconscious for several days. His heart literally stopped, and he needed CPR. This is not good. He's 51, and it's the second time that this has happened.
My chest area feel fine. I don't have, actually my feet and ankles are normal now because of the stents being put in and more blood flow.
The first heart attack he experienced, the Widowmaker, had stents put in. He then went off of his medications. He didn't listen to the doctors. And again, he gets a heart attack, probably had some more plaque, and they had to put in some stents again. He now doesn't have the same swelling. His legs are getting better. However, he did have to go to the hospital again from banging his head, probably getting a concussion when he had that cardiac arrest. When you have a heart attack and you get stents put in, the stents are a foreign object. The body recognizes that it's foreign. And so you have to take medications in order to prevent the platelets from forming a platelet plug. And so by not listening to your doctor, not doing what the doctors are suggesting, you're causing problems on yourself. Think of it. There's a foreign object in your body. Your body doesn't like it, and it tries to protect itself. It doesn't know that it's beneficial, and so it attacks it. And so if your doctor tells you to take medications because of certain operation, you take the medication.
The only thing, I had to go to the emergency room this week. I had what they call, I always forget the name of it. It's like a issue when your head gets scabbed up and all that.
And so I do believe I know what he has. It's called a concussion. Most people know this when you bang your head. Perhaps he's experienced some brain damage. This can happen from heart attacks, banging your head, and so on. And so what he might have experienced is an anoxic brain injury. And anoxic, it means there's no oxygen going to the brain. And so think of it. Your heart stops beating. You're laying there. The blood isn't flowing to your brain. It's not getting the sufficient oxygen. And so your brain is starting to slowly pass away. Upon the blood returning to circulation, again, bringing oxygen to the brain, it takes some time to repair itself. There's going to be certain things that are not quite the same as they were. And so he's most likely experiencing that.
Fortunately, my wife, as usual, forced me to go to the hospital, and that's when we did a CAT scan.
Cali Muscle is extremely lucky. The fact that he survived CPR outside of the hospital when most people would not, it clearly shows his resilience, that his body is quite healthy, and now that he's lost the pooling of water and fluid in the legs, that's indicative that his rejection fraction is back to normal. Not to mention, I would assume he has adequate kidney function, as he was able to be given that dye in order to do the CT scan. And if his kidneys were bad, they wouldn't have given him the dye. And so this is positive for Cali Muscle.
This is the first time in over 5 years I've been sleeping 6-7 hours. So I forced myself to learn how to sleep again because I was only getting 3 hours max. And I was going to the gym at 2.
Cali Muscle reveals the reason he's going to the gym so early in the morning. I mean, it's 3 and 4 in the morning. He's only sleeping 3 hours each and every night. Perhaps he's manic. And today, he's thankfully getting 6 or 7 hours of sleep each and every night, which still, in my personal opinion, isn't enough. It's not a lot. But in comparison to 3, how is bro functioning? 3 hours of sleep each and every night. Most people could not function on so little rest. Is it possible that Cali Muscle has been bipolar all along, going through extensive bouts of mania? Because how is it possible that bro functions adequately on only 3 hours of rest?
And I was just being trying to be a tough ass, you know, and keep up with people that was getting up early.
No, this is beyond being a tough ass trying to keep up with people who are being idiots going to the gym at 3 in the morning. He's going to gym at 2, sleeping 3 hours a night. That doesn't just happen. You can't just will your way into sleeping 3 hours each and every night. If you tried to do that for even 3 days, you'd soon fall around and find out no normal person is sleeping 3 hours. Oh, I'm going to go to the gym at 2 a.m. every morning. I'm going to beat out Mark Wahlberg. It doesn't work like that. And so unless there's something medically causing you to be able to do this, this is not normal.
Like I say, I wake up about 6, make some hot water with some lemon in it. I squeeze a whole lemon into some hot water, and I put 3 shakes of cayenne in it. And that been having me like feeling like I'm on caffeine.
Yeah, no. You're not going to get up and have some hot water, lemon, and cayenne powder and act like you've just had a cup of coffee. I mean, it's possible that he could notice it and have some kind of a feeling, but trust me, bro, you're not just going to give up your daily Starbucks and exchange it for hot water with lemon cayenne and go about your day.
I have 2 to 3 boiled eggs, and then I take my medication. Then throughout the day, I drink some cacao.
And so his diet is all over the place. He's now eating 3 eggs in the morning. He's having some cacao. I think that's cocoa powder. He's having walnut trail mix items. Well, I don't know if that sounds like enough calories. Perhaps he's missing out on some of the foods that he's eating, but it's certainly better than his 2 weeks of watermelon or the 14 days in a row he went without eating anything. Remember when he was fasting for more than 10 days? Or the breast milk diet that he was on. He's tried every different diet, the fruitarian diet. At least he's has a variety of foods. He's getting in some protein from the eggs, some trail mix. He's had some variety, and so hopefully it gets better.
At night, I have a piece of salmon or some baked chicken that I get from a place in Arkansas that I order from that has no antibiotics, steroids, hormone, free range, all that good stuff. They're expensive, but that's the only way I'll be able to eat meat, right? So I still haven't ate beef in over 5 years. I never will because I'm type A blood type.
To me, this is a bunch of bullshit. I don't believe that your blood type is A or B or C or blood type is ragu like Fat Albert. It doesn't matter your blood type. You get to eat whatever diet you get to eat. You can't say because my blood type is like this, I can't eat these kind of vegetables, these kind of fruits, and these kinds of proteins. And so you'd all see the problem with somebody with low nutrition literacy, like he doesn't know a lot about foods, health, and so on, giving advice on you in order to show you how to eat. The fact that he had big muscles, he could say, ramen noodles, prison, eat, big muscles, me natural. This is essentially what he did. And you all listened to him. And now you still listen to him when he says to eat this and to eat that and blood type this and blood type that. He isn't qualified to be giving out nutritional information. And so please don't listen to his advices.
Funny, Eddie Abu.
Pause. Eddie Abu. The fact he's listening to Eddie Abu tells me right away you can't listen to this guy. He thinks that Eddie Abu is a good source of information. Oh, but Eddie Abu was a nurse, and he's 60, and look at him, he has a lot of muscle. He worked in psychiatry. It has nothing to do with diet, and just because you're a nurse doesn't mean you're an expert on nutrition and so on. And Eddie Abu abused performance-enhancing drugs, steroids, and insulin. He was an IFBB pro bodybuilder. He was on the Olympia stage. He was competing against Ronnie Coleman. He complained that, I used to eat all kinds of carbs and sugars, and that is why I didn't feel healthy. And since I cut out those items and I just eat meat, eggs and eggs and eggs, that's why I feel so healthy. Or is it the fact you cut out the steroids, the growth hormone, the insulin? Do you think maybe, just maybe that made a difference?
So what happened was I started my cardio and my head started hurting a lot. So I bagged up off the cardio. But now I feel I'm ready to get back into it. I ordered me a Peloton.
Good to hear he's doing his cardio. This is probably the most important thing he can do for his heart attack, to be healthier than last time, to continue to do cardio. It's important he doesn't go crazy. He doesn't race against Coach Greg in his Zwift bike race, but continuing to do zone 2 cardio to get fit, this is only going to help him.
So my workout regimen from here on out would be basically what it was. Push-pull leg routine, 3 days a week. I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 30 minutes to 45 lightweight. And the other days I'll just do cardio.
The fact he's lifting weights 3 times a week, doing cardio on the other days, personally, I would recommend cardio even more. I would suggest he does it every single day. And he's correct. He's 195 to 199 pounds. It's more than enough muscle. He doesn't need any more. I'm sure he's used to being larger than life, and so he doesn't want to lose all of his muscles. But having less muscle than last time, the fact that he's suffered a heart attack would probably extend his life, because the bigger he is, the more his heart is going to have to work. And so if he can condense his body down, perhaps weigh 180. 180 is still a very big man, especially with low body fat levels. And so if he really does want to live as long as possible, he could probably lift even less weights and do even more cardio.
And this is the message to all you guys out there. I'm type A blood type. So type A, type B, we have thicker blood.
And so I do believe he meant to compare type A to type O blood type, where type A does have, in comparison to type O, more von Willebrand factor, which can lead to more platelet growth and cause more problems with your heart by a minuscule amount. But it's not making your blood thicker per se. You're not going to have to donate blood. It's not as extensive to what he's explaining. He perhaps read a few articles and he doesn't really know how to explain.
So all that bad food, all those steroids make the blood thicker, right? So you don't want to do nothing to make your blood thick. That's why I bagged up off the carbs, the sugar, because all that stuff make your blood thick.
Steroids almost exclusively, almost in everybody, makes your blood thicker. Your hematocrit is higher, increased hemoglobin. And when you look at people who are using and abusing performance-enhancing drugs, this is one of the telltale signs. You look at it, it's going to be in bold, and you have too much, you have to donate blood, and so on. And so that is a real risk. Thicker blood, but it's not from the blood type, it's from abusing steroids, and that does include higher doses of HRT, of which he was on even following his years of abusing steroids.
So you don't want to do nothing to make your blood thick. That's why I bagged up off the carbs, the sugar, because all that stuff make your blood thick.
Not true. Do y'all think it's from the sugars and the carbs? I mean, what is bro listening to Eddie Abu? Or is it from the freaking steroids?
And when you have thick blood like me, you easily to blood clot and get plaque in your arteries.
Yeah, having thicker blood, it's not good, but it's also bad to have high blood pressure, to have arterial sclerosis, atherosclerosis, to avoid doing cardio, to not exercise, to eat like shit and be morbidly obese. Not to mention recreational drugs, stimulants, alcohol, the list goes on and on.
Right? That's like I made the mistake of getting off aspirin after I had my Widowmaker.
Out of all the shit mentioned, all the stuff, what do you think the low-hanging fruit was of all the things that he should do? You have all these different things. I can do this and do that. I didn't take the aspirin that the doctor told me to take.
It's pretty difficult to put into words how disgusted I am, how depressed I am.
I mean, think of the hours he spent researching, learning all these things about the blood types and this, and I'm going to avoid that, and I'm not going to eat carbs, and I can't eat rice because there's carbs and sugar. I'm going to have the lamb. I have to have this special food. When he avoided the aspirin, why would you do that?
I should have stayed on aspirin to keep my blood thin. Not to mention, I did get on TRT. I was only on 0.3 twice a week.
And so he was on 0.3 twice a week. He went back on HRT. We don't know what that is because we don't know what 0.3 is equal to. Was it dosed 200 milligrams per mil, 250, 400? And so we don't know. At the very least, we know it was at least 120 milligrams a week because most certainly he's not injecting twice a week anything dosed below 200 milligrams per ml. And so he's at least injecting 60 milligrams twice a week. It might be ideal for most people. Maybe it's too much, too little. I don't know. But for him, it's clearly too much.
I was only on 0.3 twice a week, which was too much because my testosterone level was at 1,600.
Mine's 850. I've never had a heart attack. The top of the reference range, perhaps 1,000. He's at 1,600. That's higher than Alex Eubank had. Alex Eubank is 25. And remember, Alex Eubank put on about 14 pounds of muscle in 2 months? And so despite the fact that he abused steroids and had a heart attack and he almost died, he still thought, you know what, I'm going to abuse HRT yet again. Get my testosterone levels through the roof. And he gets a second heart attack and blames his blood type.
So now I'm not on nothing, and I just had to go through life like this.
It took 2 near fatal heart attacks before he decided to not abuse steroids. The first one, it wasn't enough. The Widowmaker, nope, it couldn't get him away from steroids. And so if this isn't the best advertisement to not start steroids in the first place, even after almost dying of a Widowmaker, he still couldn't stop. He had to keep going. What chance do you think you're going to stop if a heart attack could not stop this man? He has a wife, kids, family, a life. He wants to live longer than last time, yet he could not say no to steroids. He's off of them now, and he's still saying, hey, with doctor's approval, I'm going to go on even smaller doses, please, sometime nearby. It is so hard to stop, and so if you haven't already started, just do not.
I thought I was a late bloomer. I didn't start steroids till I was 34 years old. So I'm like, oh, I'm a late bloomer. You know, it'll be all right. I'll cycle on and off and all that good stuff, but not knowing my blood type, not knowing my blood is thick, also not knowing that I have a gene called H1NF, I believe it is.
Regardless of your genetics, you got to do the right things. And so you don't need to go and ask them, do I have K1F6 genotype or H1NF? Because if I do, I'm not going to use steroids. Don't use steroids anyway. Regardless of your blood type, your genotype, whatever, all the steroids you take, they're going to be bad. And so you need to be careful.
And like I say, the things that cause the hardened arteries is the bad food.
Cali Muscle ends the video by saying, you know, it's the bad food that's done the bad things to our arteries that's caused us to get heart attacks. He sounds like Eddie Abu. It's the steroids. The bad food doesn't help, but if you exercise, most likely you can offset those bad foods. Try not to be obese. Don't have type 2 diabetes. And if you don't add steroids, you're probably going to be all right. And remember, as you age, your arteries are going to get harder than last time. It's inevitable. You can't stop it, but you most certainly can slow it down. You should be able to get to perhaps 90 or 100 years before it's too big of a problem. And that's based on if you're exercising adequately and eating healthy. And so please do the good things. Minimum 150 minutes of cardio a week, but that's the minimum. That's not really enough. You should be doing an hour each and every day. Eat healthy for the most part. Don't become morbidly obese. And if you do those things, you're well on your way.
I remember when I was about 10, 15 years ago, I'm like, I'd never been to the hospital. I'm healthy as ever. I got videos saying that, like, what? You don't have to do cardio. You just work out and burn it up. Cardio is mandatory, guys.
You can look healthy on the outside, but not be healthy within. And so please do your cardio. If you want to see if you're healthy, go and get your blood work taken. You can go to AlgorX, code Greg, 10% off. They can prescribe you various medications, telmisartan, clomiphene, testosterone. Please get your ApoB tested. You can get that done at AlgorX. Don't forget, code Greg, 10% off. Of course, all of the supplements, if you want to be a sponsored athlete, click the link. You want coaching by myself and my team, click the link. And of course, to carry supplements in your stores and or gym, click the link in the description, subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 bloops. Add in the cookbook. You can get the CICO bars, code CICO, code CICO for 50% off. And for the supplements, including Turk Builder Max, Turk Platinum, money back guarantee, and a $50 gift card. You can try it, no risk to yourself. And until next time, I am out.